And inside of him,
There's only 25 laps.
There you go.
From Oak Grove, California, the Finley Farms Focus Brothers Trucking Flow Racing JBI Group Roto-Rooter.
It's not much racing.
No.
Kyle Larson.
Your ace starter is from Altoona, Iowa. He drives the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, City Vending, DeBerg Concrete, JLT Enterprises. Car number 27M, it's Carson McCarroll.
They can do about 4 laps a
And on
minute.
the inside of the fourth row, from Franklin, Indiana, the WCI, Petrie Excavating KPM, car number 27 of Emerson Axum.
The Knoxville Raceway track record holder starts 6th this evening from Higginsville, Missouri. In the Casey's FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard.
That means the whole racing part lasts about 24 minutes.
24 minutes.
California, in the Logan Contractor
About.
Supply, Hawkeye Truck Equipment, JMT Trucking,
They
Precision.
can do 4 laps a minute, and there's only 25 laps. Actually, less than that. Oh, gosh. That's basically just 4. In other words, about 6 minutes. 7 minutes of racing, maybe.
Rico Abreu.
Yeah. He finished first in Larson's thing. Ryan Brown's the one who beat Larson. Passed him, and Larson just couldn't get by him. He kept blocking him.
This way outside from Clute, Texas, driving the Power Plus, Falcons Brothers Trucking, STC Global Commercial.
That's the one that got his nose busted to that rock going through the windshield that time.
And on to pole tonight from
The one that got hit in the face with that rock.
Oh, him.
Reitzel.
Reitzel from Texas.
Schuhart. 28 cars going 25 times around the Knoxville Raceway. And Connor Wade, we talk about the drivers starting up front all the time. Row 5 has everybody's attention here this evening.
It certainly does. This
Row
is
5, you got that right.
In 2025, and all the races Kyle Larson has ran on dirt, I should say. All the races that Larson's ran on dirt this season, only the second time he started in row 5. That first race, the season opener for the Outlaws of Volusia, he drove all the way to the podium. And then David Gravel, he hasn't been in row 5 very often either. He's made a lot of dashes, missed out on it tonight, but we know David's ability to go forward. Both of these guys are going to be on the move from row 5.
Resurgent careers for both drivers starting on the front row this evening. Logan Schuhart struggled last year, got his first win of the season last week at Peavey, and Aaron Reitzel has been very strong everywhere he's raced in 2025.
So to start with Logan Schuhart, we've talked a lot about his relationship with new crew chief Kyle Pruitt and how well they performed this season. This is Kyle's only his second time ever coming to Knoxville. The first time he crew chief for Logan McCandless during a Wheatley show here last year. So this is a much bigger stage. He's on the pole with Logan Schuhart in an outlaw race, the season opener. This is a big stage for Kyle Pruitt. And before we did that interview with Logan a couple minutes ago, I asked him, hey, Kyle, is he nervous? And Logan said, not at all. Just like that entire team, calm and collected and confident that they can go back-to-back. And then Aaron Reitzel, we know how good he's been on the road this season. A couple of wins out west with High Limit, but couple podium, couple top 5s, I should say, with the Outlaws as well. No stranger to Knoxville Raceway. Got back in his comfort zone at a racetrack he's turned a lot of laps at the last couple of seasons.
Traffic should be a factor early in this one with 28 cars starting as we fire the engines for tonight's World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Premier Chevy Dealers Clash.
Yep, we'll be on a couple of weeks. We'll be there. Watching again. Hope he has a good race. To get a couple things signed. I don't know what I'm taking yet.
The 28 starters in tonight's Premier Chevy Dealers Clash for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy
Waiting to
Drink
see if they're
Car
gonna do
Series
if
begins
he's gonna do
with
a
rows of
signing
two
again at Texas Motor
behind
Speedway, like he did last time, where you
I'm
buy
pretty
the
sure.
you buy a
behind
car.
the Craigford.com,
I think pretty sure.
Knoxville Raceway pace vehicle and the World of
Wonder
Outlaws
what the hat's gonna
Toyota
look
pace
like.
truck.
I'm not gonna get it if it's.
I'll get it if it looks good. If it don't, I ain't gonna. Hats have kind of died off a little bit here lately, man. I don't really see many. But they're really good so far.
The 3P of Sawyer Phillips pulling into
Prices
the
have
pit
been
area
dropping.
was scheduled to start 26th with a provisional. And or is pulled up in front of the trailer.
That was one out already, I think. Maybe not. We just start trying to fix something. Loose wheel? I don't know.
So an issue for Sawyer Phillips scheduled to start on the outside of row number 13.
Oh, something else. They're looking in the car.
The rest of the field makes their way into corner 3, and when they reach turn number 4, they'll get the signal to show you the most awesome sight in all of motorsports.
For wide.
Dog looks so cool. One of the cooler sights you see.
The very best drivers in all of sprint car racing have assembled 4 wide as a means of saluting you and thanking you for being here this evening. In return, we want you to stand up, make some noise, get the cell phones out and light them up. Passing in front of that brand new Dennis Alba Suites National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and the Brian Clausen Suite Tower. Front stretch, be ready. Knoxville Raceway, you wanted the best. You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on
The guy's
dirt,
voice, man.
The World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars.
He's got a unique voice.
Back to rows of 2 behind. The pace vehicles report from Connor Wade in the infield. It was a fuel leak for Sawyer Phillips, a fuel line leaking on the number 3P.
I'm sleepy. I don't know why I'm so sleepy lately.
Me too.
I never get any.
That's
sleep.
because you're always on the
No, I
thing
never
with the
get
kid.
any 8 hours
Caution lights
straight
out. Green
sleep at
out of
night.
turn 4.
What you
Logan
need.
Schuhart and Aaron Reitzel from the
You
front
need 8
row.
hours so you
Rico
don't have
Avery
to-
on
No, at
Courtney,
night.
row 2.
Yeah, I know.
I can
Giovanni
do that
Scelsi in
during
front,
the
needed
day.
row 3, Emerson Axel and Carson McCarroll
Needed
in
at
row
night.
4. Kyle Larson
Sometimes.
At night, I'm talking
row
about
5.
night.
Ryan Timms, Austin McCarroll, Cole Macedo, Riley Goodnow, Spencer Baston, Brad Sweet.
I don't know about this tonight.
I
think you'd be probably fortunate to get to top 5, maybe 4, 3 at the most. I just don't see him winning it.
Oh,
But Larson doing Larson things. Sometimes you never know.
right. Yeah, you never know.
Never know with him.
Logan Schuhart and Aaron Reitzel to the
It's a
stripe,
big track,
to the
though.
green flag in the Premier Chevy Dealers Clash.
Once they spread out, man, it's hard to get up in there.
Schuhart low into turn 1. Reitzel looking for a run on the high side of the speedway. He'll trail by a half a car length the midpoint of the back straightaway.
Good battle in the 3rd spot. Rico Avery leads that trio of cars. Now it's 4 cars. As
They spread out so
up to the top
fast.
as they go side by side for the lead. Aaron Reitzel will bring him around and lead lap number 1.
Reitzel drives around the outside of the Shark Racing 1S to take the lead.
Larson
at the
needs to be
completion of
picking
the
them up
first
and
lap.
putting them down, I
Logan
hope.
Schuhart runs second. Rico
Up to
Avery
7th
is in third.
already.
Tyler Courtney 4th the
It's
Ziggy
2
is
spots.
number 3.
Gio Selzy in the fifth spot. Brian Brown at the top side of the racetrack running 6. He'll close in on Selzy off the top of turn number 4.
Here comes Larson.
Larson right behind those 2 cars as they go side by side in turns
Needs
1
to
and 2.
pick him up and put him down.
Off the top, Gio Selzy still down low. They're side by side for second in turn number 3.
Rico Abreu's second for the moment. Now coming off the cushion. 1S of Logan Schuhart back to the inside of Abreu. They'll go side by side across the line. And Rico Abreu squeezes the 1S down into turn number 1.
Logan Schuhart runs in the 3rd spot. Tyler Courtney still holding on to 4th. Battle in that 5th spot continues.
Larson gets by those 2.
Brian Brown right there running 6th. Kyle Larson in the 7th spot down to the inside as they work through 3 and 4. Tyler Courtney goes to the bottom as well. Slowed him up just a little bit now.
Oh, he got a good grip off the bottom there.
Kyle Larson attempts the slide job on Brian, but there's not enough room to make it work. He stays down low and will make the pass anyway at the exit of turn 2. Kyle Larson now up to 6th and working on Giovanni Selzy for
He's
5th.
going to blow by him.
Still right there ahead of Kyle Larson as they work off at turn 4 by the flag stand. Giovanni Selzy in the 5th spot. He'll begin to close in on Tyler Courtney.
Oh, yeah.
So far, Courtney has been
Boom,
unchallenged
top
in the
5.
4th spot. Larson down to the outside of Selzy as they race into 3.
Kyle Larson squeezed between Giovanni Selzy and the outside.
Now we need a
wall at the
caution.
exit of the second
He's
turn.
coming.
Selzy trying to come back at the number 57 as they cross the line. Kyle Larson into the top.
Whoa,
From
man.
The 5th row in this one. And looking for more.
Driving it down.
Your leader, Aaron
That's a
Reitzel,
handful when that car starts jumping around like that.
Clearly
He's
in
in there working that wheel and the pedals and everything else.
Babe, you already talking.
Need a caution.
Tyler Courtney 4th and now Kyle
Yeah.
Larson in the 5th spot begins to close in on the 7BC.
Logan Schuhart making progress in his battle for second with Rico Abreu. Heavy traffic in front of the race leader, Aaron Reitzel, now as Abreu and Schuhart both close in on the 87.
Here comes Rico Abreu. Your race is for the lead in turn number 2. Side by side, Rico Abreu. You've got the new leader on the back straightaway. Abreu leading, Reitzel running second now through traffic in turn number 4. The thread the needle slides up across the nose of the lap car off of turn number 4.
Rico Abreu leading the 9th lap, and now Logan Schuhart going to work on Aaron Reitzel for second. Works the middle of the speedway. They both get around the outside of the slower car of Garrett Williamson, I should say. Schuhart attempts to. He couldn't quite make that happen in turn 2. Reitzel again to the high side in 3 and 4 around the outside of the
Come
slower
on,
car.
Larson.
Chris Wyndham. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson working on Tyler Courtney for 4th as they go
Fourth.
across the line, give it to the 57.
Kyle Larson worked well off the bottom.
Need a
of turn
caution.
number 4. Run down the front chute. He'll take that spot away from Tyler Courtney. Now he'll have to navigate past the lap car of Garrett Williamson, who slides up across him. Larson right through the middle, slides across the nose of Williamson in turn number 4. He'll allow Courtney to close back in as they work down the first straightaway, but Kyle Larson will hold on to the 4th spot.
Rico Abreu leading it by half a second.
long way to
last time
3rd.
across the line. With Aaron Reitzel running second, Logan Schuhart is 3rd, and now
Come on,
Kyle Larson up to
caution.
4th and gaining on the Shark Racing number 1S.
Rico Abreu, Aaron Reitzel, Logan Schuhart, Kyle Larson, and Tyler Courtney, your top 5. Giovanni Selzy, David Gravel in 7th, Austin McCarl, Brian Brown, and Emerson Axum round out the top 10.
Come on.
Kyle Larson is caught. Logan Schuhart in
Look
turn
at it.
number 3.
Oh, man, going for 3.
No!
2 cars get together.
Caution.
Johnny Shaw to the outside wall along with Parker Price Miller.
We needed.
So yellow flag waves
Oh,
as
yes.
2 cars exit turn number 4.
You be there.
And he's starting in 4th now.
Together here on the front
Now
straightaway.
he's going to have a
Definitely
chance,
damage to
maybe.
the front end of the CarQuest number
He's doing what he
15
needs
for
to
Donnie
do.
Schatz.
Abreu was fast tonight, though.
Yeah.
Parker Price Miller had been running 18th. Donnie Schatz was in the 20th spot.
Oh, that's good news.
A look at the Dirt Vision replay from the camera in turn 4. Parker Price Miller got over the inside berm, came across the racetrack, and no place for Donnie Schatz to go there.
Knocked the left front wheel down on Donnie's car. Wasn't able to steer it. Just drove it right up into the outside wall. Nothing he could do about that. But boy, what a wild ride for Parker Price Miller. As you said, Johnny, if you haven't been down there, that berm is pretty aggressive where you get up on that berm and then coming back down. It's not an easy transition there. So 12 laps are in the books. Rico Abreu continues to be the leader. Aaron Reitzel running second. Logan Schuhart third. Kyle
We'll
Larson
start
is
double
found
file
some
again.
speed here mid-race in that 4th position. Tyler Courtney
They'll only
running
do
fifth.
single file once there's only
Gio
5
Selzy
laps to
running
go or
sixth.
less.
David
Then they'll
Gravel
do
seventh.
single.
Austin McCarl 8th. Brian Brown has dropped back to 9th. And Emerson Axum rounds out your top 10.
You can get to second pretty quick.
Rico Abreu will have the lane choice for the upcoming
He's
double
passed
file
a couple
restart.
cars.
They'll have Aaron Reitzel alongside him. Parker Price Miller has reached the Federated Car Care work zone in car number 71.
If he just did better in his qualifying, man, he'd be already near the front for sure. Even better.
Front axle here.
Starting all the way back at
As you
ninth.
see on
That's a
Dirt
long way
Vision,
back.
As they've got Donnie's car up on the hook here on the front straightaway. Crew getting ready down there.
Well, the good news for both Donnie Schatz and Parker Price Miller, we are a lap shy of the halfway point, so they both have the guaranteed minimum of 2 minutes in the Federated Car Care work zone. Once we reach halfway, that guarantee no longer exists.
See Jason Sides in there helping the crew get the car, or get that front axle ready to go. They'll make a quick swap once they get the car down there and evaluate, making sure there's no other problems with the CarQuest 15. See Bernie Stooge in there taking a look at the Indy Race Parts car number 71. Heavy damage on the rear bumper there from where PPM backed it up into the wall there.
And we'll head downstairs to Connor Wade.
Only issue for PPM appears to be that push bumper. That might be a little bit of concern in terms of them pushing him
Change
off.
that
I feel like
whole
they probably can still get that car fired off. Other than that, Bernie and the crew just knocking some mud off the 71. They're going to send it back out. And right now, Donnie Schatz arriving in the work area, and a slew of crew members trying to get that front end change. We'll check back.
It's a lot of hands in there.
Thank you, Connor. In the meantime, the field is doubled up with leader Rico Avery choosing the inside lane for the
Trying to
double
scrape
file
mud
restart.
off out of the way so they can get to it.
Parker Price Miller pushing back off in the Indy Race Parts car number 71. They'll join the back of the field as work begins on the dirt.com.
So teamwork.
15.
Trying to get to where those nuts are, man.
And more now from the infield and Connor Wade.
So the biggest problem for Donnie Schatz is when he hit the
Look at all the mud they drug out of it.
full of mud. So they haven't
Look
even
at
been
that
able to get the front
guy.
axle
Showing
out
you.
yet. All the mud that's packed in.
Oh, that's a-
But looks like track leader, a tie rod or something, and he's just jamming it into the front end, trying to get all the mud out. They finally have gotten enough
Oh,
of that
gee,
mud out so where they can
unpleasant
start
view.
to disconnect the shocks and take that front end apart. So they were handicapped a little bit by how quickly they could get to work on actually changing that front end just by how much mud was packed in. So a lot of
Man, that's a
members
lot
I
of
see,
mud packed in there. Holy moly. That changes the whole way the car drives when you have all that weight in the front like that and picking it up.
So old one is now out. The new one going in, so still pressed for time, but making progress here nonetheless.
We get word via the Racing Electronics World of Outlaws radio system. Less than 1 minute remaining in the Federated Car Care work
I don't
zone.
think-
Do that in 1 minute.
I don't think they're gonna make it.
As Connor pointed out, all that mud that's piled up underneath the Donnie's car there.
No
But they
way.
had to get out of there first. That's quite a pile of mud underneath of there. And, you know, we talked about that cushion earlier, how deep that cushion can be in some places. And once Donnie got shoved up the racetrack there over the cushion, Connor called it correctly. They're just packed that full front end full of mud.
Doing a bit of lineup adjusting toward the back
They
of
ain't
the
got the
field.
shocks on yet. Not gonna quite make it, I don't think.
No, 1 minute's not enough.
So the 2 minutes have expired, so it is now on the 1 to go signal.
Now he's just now getting the
They have to
shocks
be ready
on.
to push when the field gets the 1 to go signal coming out of corner number 4, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to make it. They're still trying to get some suspension parts hooked up to that new front axle.
Close, but not gonna do it. They need another.
Now they'll keep working on it. If Donnie doesn't make it out, they'll continue to work on that car. If we go under caution within 1 lap, before we make a complete lap, he could still rejoin the field.
But he ain't, but he can't.
So they continue in the Federated Car Care work zone on Donnie Schatz, but we turn our attention back to green flag action, which will resume
Yep.
when the leader
Larson on the
accelerates
outside.
turns 3 and 4.
I don't know if I like
Rico Avery has
that
the
because he
luxury of
was doing a lot of good
accelerating
passing
first
on the
as race
inside.
leader of row number 1. 12 laps complete, 13 laps remaining in the premier Chevy
gonna have to
Dealers
go,
Clash.
go, go.
World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series at the Knoxville Raceway.
I know he's got a plan. Let's see if he can do it. Up to third.
Back under green, and Kyle Larson immediately to third and looking for more.
See, he's doing good. He's been decent. That time it didn't bite us.
Right in a second.
Oh!
Damage on the
Caution
front end
flag.
there, the nose wing for sure
Dang
on
it.
Carson Macedo's car. His car was way completely sideways.
So that means that guy that was working on his car will be able to come back in there now. He has time.
Yeah, the guy.
As you see Carson Macedo's car with the nose wing damage.
But
and maybe some
because
other issues
they
there,
didn't
but
do a
Donnie
lap,
Schatz is
Larson
through,
probably had to start back to
continuing
fourth
work. We
again.
did not get a lap in, so Johnny
You don't get a
Ethel
lap, so
almost, he
they
could come back out
they
and
only
get
go
a
by the
vision
previous
replay.
lap.
So seeing if we can determine
when
what
they
happened here.
didn't finish the lap,
Didn't finish the lap, they just restarted over again.
started it out.
Cole Macedo and Carson Macedo, yep. And really, that could have been a lot worse. Everybody
So,
did a great
yeah.
job to avoid the
Yeah.
slowing car there. Now we have a caution due to contact on a double file restart, so we'll go back to single file formation
Oh,
until we get at least one more lap completed. So we'll have a single file restart coming up at the cone on the front
interesting.
stretch. And again, the Tony Stewart Kerr Baggage Union Racing number 15 set to
so
rejoin
they'll
the
go to a
speed,
single
to rejoin
file.
this race.
That's
from the
kind of
back.
stinks. Single file, it's a little harder to gain a
I'm gonna
spot.
clean up this
Meanwhile,
table so I can
Carson
use this.
Macedo will be headed toward
eventually.
the Federated Car Care Work Zone.
When that it
And his
back
crew
way?
I
already
don't know.
down there.
They got a
nose
lot
wing
of stuff
in
over
hand.
there.
Several members of the crew ready to go. Let's go down to Connor in the infield.
Yeah, and I wonder
Make
if the
this table
41 might need
useful.
more
I
than
can
just a
use it.
nose wing. Adam
I'm
Zimmerman.
thinking about it.
Yeah, the
I
guys,
almost thought
they
I'd
do
get rid
have
of the whole thing, honestly.
New front axle down here in case they need to change that. They're taking it off the mule
I'm gonna
right
put
now,
an
so we'll
exercise
have to see
thing.
what they actually change on the 41. Now, as for Donnie Schatz, back to him for just a second.
You gotta
They
lose
got
weight
the
or I'll be
front
dead.
end in and attached right about the time the caution came out. So now they're just going
Like I
basically
said,
setting that front end with the setup
doing a
box
sitting
and all
job
that.
is
They have
10
a lot
hours a
more
day,
time.
11 hours a
It
day
does look
sitting
like
pretty
they're
much,
pushing
10
the
hours a
setup
day.
They are going to jack the front end up and try to change that front axle.
I did.
And the right front tire
That's a
was
tougher
flat,
deal.
Connor, as he came
I have
in.
never had to deal with that.
Sitting there, and looks as though maybe they're going to just try to swap the whole thing out.
What the heck now?
There's some work going on to the front wing on the number 41, and as Connor mentioned, the 15 crew with no real hurry right now because they have the same 2 minutes that Carson Macedo has as a guaranteed time in that Federated Car Care Work Zone, so able to be a little more cautious.
That's longer
with what
than
they
2
are
minutes.
putting
That
back
other
on-
one,
onto the speedway.
they took a minute just to start digging the mud out of that other one.
Caution flag, a tough break for Kyle Larson. He had gotten by Logan Schuhart
Okay.
for third and was coming after second place Aaron Reitzel before the caution
break.
flag waved.
Back to fourth.
They're going to turn Donnie Schatz's car around and get a push truck behind him as the CarQuest 15 is ready to go. We're continuing on Carson Macedo's all-ball year alternative car number 41. Axel getting set to come out, it looks like.
Old front axle out, new one about to go in. Seconds remaining of the guaranteed time in the Federated Car Care
30
Work Zone.
seconds.
The 41 of Carson Macedo.
They ain't gonna make it. The other one didn't make it.
Well, just like Donnie Schatz, these guys will continue to work on that car if they don't make the call here as we get ready to push Donnie Schatz off.
Ain't
He'll
no
join
way.
the back of the field. Crew members will continue to work on Carson Macedo's car, and in the event we don't make a complete lap, he would be eligible to come back out.
So the 2 minutes have expired. 1 to go signal about to be shown to the field, so Carson Macedo will not make it back out for this restart.
It's just not enough time to change the whole front end, man. I mean, 2 minutes. It takes about 2.5. They can do it in about 2.5 or 3.
The quality traffic control.
That's still
restart
awfully
coming out
fast
here on the front straightaway for
to
this
do all
single
that.
file restart.
Well, now what's Larson
It's
gonna
back
do?
on the forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to go back to fourth. They go by whatever the last completed lap.
Pace trucks in, Johnny. We're set to go.
It's not like NASCAR where they had the timing loops around the track where
12
somebody's
laps
head, they leave you there.
13 laps
Here.
remaining. Premier Chevy Dealers Clash.
And now they got to start this way, so I don't know which way Larson's going to go now. I think it's going to be a little tougher. Yeah, see, he was already in third right here going for second. Now he's way back and forth still. He's going to have to do fast work.
Side by side now for the 5th spot into turn at number 3.
Giovanni Scelzi on the bottom. David Gravel coming with him, but Tyler Courtney able to motor away from him off the top of turn number 4. Austin McCarl right there now. 3 cars battling for position as they work down.
I know, it just did not work out right.
To reel in your race leader, battle for the lead in turn number 4.
Reitzel down low on the cushion. Rico Abreu this time by 14 laps to
Yeah,
complete,
he's
11
way
laps to
back
go.
there now.
Abreu continues to run in the
I don't know
top
why,
spot.
but it
On
just
the
seems
middle
like
of the
he
main
ain't
unit,
moving
Austin
now.
McCarl up to challenge David Gravel and Giovanni
Yeah,
Scelzi.
third.
Meanwhile,
No.
Kyle Larson gets
It's up
by
to
Logan
third.
Shewhart to take the third spot as they race into quarter 3.
Logan challenged him on the inside, now has to move to the cushion in turn number 4 as Kyle Larson holds
Come
the
on,
inside.
second.
He's gonna
Go
have to
second.
go.
Third spot.
We need another caution.
Logan Shewhart running fourth.
I don't want a
Tyler Courtney, fifth. Gio Selzy in the 6-5. David Gravel now.
I don't know. He might make time.
Down the back straightaway. Keep your eye on Kyle Larson
Man.
as he gets to close in.
He
on
definitely
Aaron
flying.
Russell.
This time by there will be 9 laps to go. Kyle Larson from the 9th starting
For the
spot.
second.
Closing in on Aaron Reitzel, but Logan Shewhart not out of the
Oh,
picture.
Right here,
there
he
you
gets
go,
a
there you
really
go.
good bite right there.
Oh!
Oh, he hit.
Oh,
He
my
got
gosh.
caught. He hit that.
Dang.
He hit that curb a little. Dang it. That should
There you
make
go.
him more determined now than ever.
Yeah, he's second. Oh, my God.
Slide job. Well, here we go.
Yeah, come on. Go for the first.
2.5 seconds behind though. If Brady was fast, he's gonna have to go, go, go. Need a caution, man.
Rico Abreu in traffic in turn number 2. Kyle Larson running second. Aaron Reitzel third. Here comes Logan
Need one
Shewhart
more
back
caution.
in turn number 2 to the outside of Reitzel. Put Logan Shewhart back into the third spot.
Shewhart reclaims the 3rd position. Now works the low line in 3
Need
and
a
4.
stinking
Aaron Reitzel
caution.
takes the speedway. 19 laps complete for Rico Abreu. But Kyle Larson has taken 7/10 of a second off the lead, and there's heavy traffic.
5 more
in
laps.
number 24A.
Through 3 and 4, Rico on the bottom. He puts the left front up on the inside berm as they work off the bottom of turn
Come
number
on,
4. He'll
Larson.
get by.
I just don't think there's enough time.
Put a lap car between he and Kyle Larson. Larson uses the inside line in 1 and 2 as well. Rico makes a run. He gets by 2 lap cars now down the back straightaway. Puts a little cushion between he and Kyle Larson.
Need a caution.
Rico Abreu looking strong out in front of the field. This time by 4 laps to go. Logan Shewhart trying to close the gap between himself and second place running Kyle Larson. They get closer into quarter number 1.
Larson right there on the top.
Lost ground.
Shewhart, 5 car lengths behind him, then Aaron Reitzel. Tyler Courtney and David Gravel still in the mix as they work down the back chute. Gravel
Nope,
into the 6th
ain't no
position.
caution. Him finish second.
Kyle Larson with cars running side by side for position in front of him. 1 car high, 1 car low. Maybe an opportunity here, but Larson will split those 2 entering quarter number 1. Make the pass.
Rico Abreu bobbling in lap traffic on the exit at turn number 2 allows Larson to close in. Your
Oh,
race is
you
gonna be
kidding me?
for the lead in turn number 4. Here comes Kyle Larson. Rico Abreu has
Oh
the
my
lead.
gosh.
2 cars
It's
down
going.
inside of turn number
Ah.
Ah, darn it.
Not enough time.
Hey.
Logan Shewhart trying to make a last lap.
He almost had it. He
Yeah, I know.
if he hadn't hit that deal, he'd have had it.
Rides the cushion into turn 1. Kyle Larson gaining down the back straightaway. A little bit of bobble there for Larson out of turn 2. They race
Yeah.
into 3 and 4 for the final time. Larson
That's
may have
it,
a chance
folks.
as he dives
He's
down
not
into the final set.
Oh my God! Hey. Rico's so Oh, gee. Hey, that's a nice race. Oh my God. Oh, gee.
He had lots of speed tonight, but boy,
Ugh.
make him earn it in the last 2 laps.
Dang it. If he hadn't hit, got a little bobble, he'd have had it.
Here
Oh,
tonight,
well.
Lost Energy Drink World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series
That's the way the
at
cookie
premier
crumbles.
Chevy Dealers Clash.
Unofficially, your top 10 will look like this. Rico Abreu with the win.
He was definitely the hard charger tonight. 9
Oh,
to 2.
yeah,
Aaron
always.
Reitzel 5th, David Gravel 6th, Giovanni Solzi 7th, Austin McCarl 8th, Brad Sweet 9th, and Emerson Axel.
So I think
10th.
these ones should be like 30 lappers, man. Not 25 just ain't enough.
Not enough.
They should all just be 30 lap races. I don't know why who decides on 25.
I don't know.
Their tank is their gas tank not hold enough for 30
Top
laps? I don't
finishers
know.
to the scales, minimum weight requirement, 1,425 pounds with a driver in the car.
Some of the rules, I can't even understand it. I don't understand most of them.
Darn it.
Nice.
Ugh, sucks.
A Rico Abreu.
Man, him and Larson are
Yeah.
pretty
They're
tight.
buddy. They're buddy. Ever since.
Rico Abreu with the helmet off, the seatbelts loosened, and climbing from the cockpit of the 24A.
He loves skateboarding. It's skateboarding too.
He gets the NOS Energy Drink
Bad.
Victory Lane hat, the Hoosier Tire
Skateboarding.
neckband, and the VP Fuels checkered flag. Tonight's Premier Chevy Dealers Clash winner, Rico Abreu.
Like the
Incredible stuff in the closing. Larson for his 8th career win at Knoxville Raceway, and this crowd loves it. High fives and hugs all around the crew. Rico's got a hat, a NOS towel. Rico, what a battle that was between you and Young Money. You guys are great friends. Always incredible stuff when you guys are on the track together. Walk me through the last couple laps. How did you react to the pressure he put on you the last couple laps?
I mean, I know someone was coming, so I'm not making friends on the racetrack, that's for sure. I just appreciate Ricky Warner, just his critical thinking, you know, thoughtfulness, and just execution on this race car, and Zach and Brady.
they got fortunate.
We put these
That's all I can
packages
say.
together to come here and just to get to race against the best guys in the business. So, you know, I got a lot of Waste Connections people here tonight locally in the Des Moines area. Recycling, you know, is big for the future. So it's incredible to bring new fans to the races, and for them to experience a win like this as a partner of ours it's second to none. It's hard to do that stuff. So especially to beat the Outlaws at the toughest track in the country. And you know, I'm just trying to think of the process of dissecting my car in lap traffic, and just having some issues with my wing ram. You know, it's just things we fought last year, and we just I got to push it forward as we go down the straightaways, and just really think about hitting my mark. So I knew somebody was going to be coming just with you know, for how much I had to move around on the racing surface. And this is you know, Knoxville Raceway is definitely becoming one of my favorite tracks in the world.
During those 2 yellows that we had, did you kind of take a moment to catch your breath and put a plan together for how you'd react on the last green flag run?
I knew the exits at the bottom were getting tricky, you know, and if you could just, when you get lap cars running side by side, I wanted to set a fast pace and get some momentum. You know, the gear we had in our car, get momentum going up top and just really hit my mark. So, you know, that's when you get in those situations, you just have to be really patient, you know, just thought process through footwork. And, you know, I just was, you know, when you race against the best, you can't make any mistakes to beat them.
Rico Abreu collects his first win of the 2025 season.
Thank you, Connor Wade. Kyle Larson made it extremely close at the end. Final margin of victory, 0.2 of a second, but Larson had a chance coming out of 3 and 4.
And great stuff from Kyle Larson. He's going to run up on the stage really quickly to congratulate his buddy Rico Abreu, and then he'll come back down off the podium. That last lap, if you had one more lap, do you feel like you could have gotten to Rico, and anything you could have done differently there coming out of turn 4?
I mean, I wish I wouldn't have had to, like, try a Hail Mary. I wish I would have just not made so many mistakes. You know, once I got the second, I could piece a couple good laps together, and then I'd push a little too hard and mess up. The bottom, you know, if you could hit it, was really fast, but if you missed it, it was worth probably more than what you could gain. And unfortunately, I screwed up a few times. So kind of lost touch of him. But was able to piece together a really good 1 and 2 there on the last lap, and we just had that lapper in front of us, and was kind of stuck. I got, you know, there, but I was just too stuck to have enough clean air on exit. So yeah, good job to Rico there. Was able to, you know, steal one from him late in August, so I'm sure it feels good to get one back on me. But happy about my car once again here at Knoxville. You know, come from 9th with a tough field like that feels great. So looking forward to, you know, the next few months of racing sprint cars, and hopefully keep just dialing it in.
So I have an important question that kind of ties into August. NASCAR's in Iowa the first weekend of August, so there's been some talk. Maybe he'd run 360 Nationals to get some extra laps for the 410 Nationals. But I know you love Ironman as well. You're probably not going to be able to come here in June. Do you and Paul Silva know where you'll be that first week of August?
We'll probably decide as it gets closer. Obviously, logistically, it's much nicer being here in Knoxville. But as you mentioned, yeah, I mean, we've had some really good success at Peely's. So kind of just depends on probably, what my schedule looks like that weekend. But either way, we'll be racing somewhere. So that's always good when you're behind the wheels. So, thanks to you fans for coming out here in April. And we look forward to seeing you all once again here in August.
Good stuff tonight. Kyle Larson brings it home in second.
Rounding out the podium tonight, Logan Schuchart in the Shark Racing at number 1S was
So
certainly
close.
in the thick of things all race long.